My name is Saurav. As you all know, I've been in touch with you last couple of days. Okay, so first of all, I would just want to brief you about our group, which is Solvexis, what we do and how we do and all those things. And then we have Mr. Vineet with us, who is our instructor on DevOps. So I'll just give you the introduction and I will hand it over call to Mr. Vineet. All right. So guys, Solvexis is a group of IT professionals and we've been into IT industry from last more than 14, 15 years. And it's been overall more than 4 years that we guys are into online trainings. We conduct online trainings on various technologies like DevOps is one of them, apart from other technologies like AWS, big data, data analytics and all. The main thing is like we design our course content which is based on our project experience. So whatever you are going to experience right now, the content on behalf from Vineet. So all these course contents, assignments, the session is designed on behalf of Vineet's project experience. So more and more he would like to cover these aspects. So what I would like to do is I would like to hand it over this call to Vineet. He will be in touch with you and interact with you. Thanks a lot again guys for joining. Vineet, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks Saurabh, and thanks everyone for joining this session. So this is Vineet here, and welcome to Solvexis DevOps Foundation demo. So first let me introduce myself. I'm Vineet here, and I'm having almost 16 plus years of industry experience. And like I worked almost like 8 to 9 years in the DevOps area, and for last almost 10 years associated with DevOps projects. And I do have experience in implementation, design the projects, implementing the projects, giving the supports, exploring new tools. And apart from that, I'm involved in multiple consulting areas as well, like internal and external consulting. So I'm carrying overall a great rich experience in the DevOps world. If I come to my experience on the training side, so I'm into the training, like online training business for last couple of years, and almost I've trained more than 500 plus students through online classes or through corporate classes or through consulting areas. And I have experience in all the areas of DevOps, like continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous deployment, continuous operations, and cloud as well. So I do have understanding on all the tools starting from Jenkins to SonarQube, Nexus, Chef, Puppet, Ansible, AWS, Azure. So I do cover all the topics in my trainings. So guys, this is overall like a little bit introduction about myself. So before I'll go to the course content and like what kind of training program this is, let me introduce yourself. So guys, I would like to understand from you guys one by one. I'll unmute you guys one by one, and then I would like to understand like what is your expectation from this training demo, and what is your background, professional background, and these things I would like to know. So I'll start from Amit. So Amit, can you give me a little bit introduction about yourself so that I can understand which background you belongs to and what is your expectation from this training demo session? Amit, over to you. Amit, can you please unmute yourself?
Hi everyone.
Yeah, hi Amit. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah.
a senior middleware administrator. I have around 7 years of experience in WebSphere application server and in different suite of application servers like Tomcat, JBoss. I also have hands-on experience in MQ and WebSphere message broker. So with the advent of DevOps, most of the organizations are roping in this practice. So even I want to get hold of this technology. I have fair idea about Jenkins, then ZVL Labs, Excel Deploy, and I basically am a little confused because I'm neither a system admin nor a software developer. So I want to get input how I should shape my career from here on so that I become a DevOps engineer.
Okay, great. So I got Amit, like what you're looking for. You're looking for like clarity on DevOps roles, right? Clarity on DevOps roles. Yeah,
Right.
definitely we'll cover this point. So now I'll come to Bhagat. So thanks, Amit. I'll request you to
Thank you,
go on
Vineet.
mute so that yeah, please go on mute. So Bhagat, over to you. I think Bhagat is offline. Okay, so Bhagat is not there. I think he'll join a little bit late, or maybe he's joining. We are getting a name, waiting for the name. So over to Venkat. Venkat, just unmute and let me know what is your background and what is your expectation from this training session demo.
Yeah, this is Venkatesh. I did MCA Incremental after from Nagarjuna University. Still now I am not doing any job. I am right WMB, but I am not getting any job. Now I want to, now I move to DevOps. That means it is wanted tool.
Okay. So if I understood correctly, you're looking for opportunities in DevOps world, right?
Yes.
Okay. In DevOps world. Okay.
Not DevOps, I am looking for any wanted tool. That
Yeah, I
means
mean DevOps
AWS.
will cover.
Yeah, actually I'm communication problem. I don't have communication is poor.
Okay.
DevOps is very much communication skills. That means coordination of
So Venkat, there are multiple roles are there in the DevOps world. So while explaining, about the DevOps, I'll take care of, like, you will understand your roles and responsibilities. Doesn't matter if your communication is good or bad, you will able to establish yourself into the DevOps world. Okay.
okay. And DevOps is a developer or admin supporting.
Yeah, I will mention your question. Okay, understanding about DevOps. Okay, so
Okay.
we'll cover that on the demo. Okay.
Okay.
What is DevOps? We'll cover that part. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
Venkat, I'll request you to go on mute. I'll talk to other candidates. Okay. Nitin, over to you. Can you explain about your background and what is your expectation from this training session demo?
Yep, yeah, Vinit. So I have been into this IT world from almost 12 years, and I am majorly into the legacy application developer. So recently I have been working on all the open source technologies. So my expectation from, because already we have started working on DevOps, but we have a dedicated DevOps engineer, but I want to I want to take a hands-on on DevOps. As part of that DevOps, I am interested in CI, CD, CT, and CO. Okay, and as part of that, I would like to know about more about the cloud platform and major towards no, Jenkins. I have some overview, but I am more interested into drone and Kubernetes and rest of the Sonar Cube and all the elk part of it and
ELK, you mean
rest
to say ELK,
yeah,
right?
and FileBeat
Okay.
and rest of the continuous all the DevOps all the DevOps technology, like starting from CI to still CT.
Okay. Okay. I mentioned all the technologies you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. So may I know
Thank you.
which legacy background you belongs to?
I'm from mainframes.
Okay.
But currently I am not into mainframe. I have been into open source, like I have been into distributed application development from almost 2 years now. So
Which technology?
all like the Java is my major development language, and currently we are working on Angular as well. So it's like end to end, actually, what I can say is.
Okay. Yeah. So definitely, Nitin, I'll address all these things during my presentation. Okay.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah. So come to the Supraj. Supraj, over to you if you want to add, about your background, your expectation from the session.
Hi Vinith and hi all. This is Supraj. I have been working in IT industry from the past 2 years, 8 months. I have Java background with Unix also. Like my background is like application development and management. So we are aware of the development as well and this deployment side. Like we are using Web Server 7, Apache, Glassfish, and JBoss. And deployment for deployment, you deploy as well as Jenkins we are using. So I'm basic knowledge on AWS and Pivotal Cloud Foundry also. So I want to know about what is DevOps and quick overview and how it will be the and next feature of the DevOps. Hope rest of the case covered the topics. So those topics also I want to know. That's it.
Okay, definitely.
So, sorry, Vinith, just sorry to interrupt you. So one more thing is I would like to know more about any one of the scripting language which is popular in the DevOps area, either Python or shell scripting.
Okay. Okay, yeah, definitely we'll cover that part. So anything else, Supraj?
That's it. Thanks, Vinith.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm putting you on mute, buddy. Okay. So over to Anusha. Anusha, please, can you please share what is your expectation and what is your background so that I can cover all these points in my presentation? Anusha, are you there? Okay. I think Anusha has some problem. Okay, I'll come to Manoj.
No, hello.
Yeah, Anusha.
Hello. This is Anusha.
Yeah, Anusha.
Yeah, basically I don't know about DevOps, but it is a new framework, I think so. I wanted to know more about this DevOps. Basically, I completed my BTech in 2015. Now I'm working as a Java developer right now. I wanted to learn more about this DevOps and scripting language. And the main I expected from this is I'll get more knowledge while listening this.
Okay, definitely. So basically you're looking for what is the overview of DevOps and what are the different tools and combination of tools are there into the DevOps world. Okay, you want a kind of overview of DevOps.
Rather than we are using now like Hibernate and Springs.
Okay, you are from Java background, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Java background. Now we are using like Hibernate and Springs. Okay, so what is the difference for these, for those things and for this? I wanted to clarify.
Okay. Springs
differentiation
and
Hibernate and DevOps.
Okay. Hibernate, you are into, yeah. And you want to understand the differences, right?
Yeah.
DevOps differences.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll cover that part. Okay, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Anusha. So I'll come to now Bunny. So Bunny, over to you. Please share your background and what is your expectation from this session. Anusha, I'll request you to go on mute.
Okay, fine.
Bunny, are you there? Okay. I think no response from Bunny. So Manoj, over to you if you would like to share your experiences you want or your expectation from this session.
Hello. Hi, sir. Okay. This is Bunny.
Yeah, Bunny. Tell me.
Hi, sir. At present, I am pursuing my master's in computer science. I'm in final semester, and I just wanted to know about the complete DevOps, like the tools in DevOps, which are used. So I just want to know the language, how it's used, how it's used in development. So I just want to know the overview of DevOps and tools.
Okay, definitely we'll cover that part, Bunny.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, so Bunny, please go on mute. I'll request you. Okay, so I've covered most of the candidates who are here. I didn't get chance to talk to Manoj. Manoj, can you please unmute yourself and share your expectations in your background? Okay, it looks there is problem on a Manoj end. Okay, so Amit, if you're able to unmute yourself, please share your expectation from this session. No response from Amit. Okay, I got one more candidate, Double X. So Double X, can you please highlight your name and please unmute yourself and let us know about your expectation or background. Okay, no issues, guys. When you are able to unmute yourself, you can interrupt me when I'm giving the presentation. I will, I'll come to you whenever I'll complete the presentation, or I'll be taking the questions. So that time we can discuss more. Okay, so come to the presentation part, guys. Expectations now. I've jotted down all the expectations from all the candidates, and once we'll complete this presentation, then definitely you will be able to get answers of your questions. So I'll come to the slide demo. This expectation we have covered. So what is DevOps? So guys, there is a misconception in market like DevOps is a technology, DevOps is a tool. So DevOps is neither a technology, DevOps is nor a tools. So DevOps is a culture. So what does it mean is for any organization to faster our SDLC life cycle, we should have DevOps implementation required. So DevOps is an improvement which you are bringing in your organization to improve your SDLC lifecycle. So guys, if I'll go 4 or 5 years back, the development model of industry was waterfall model. So waterfall model says, do your releases in a big bang. In 3 months or 6 months, do your releases. But after Agile process has come into the market, Agile says we don't want big bang releases, we want small releases. So the people who are not from Agile background, just I'm giving the introduction, like Agile says, do your releases in 3-week cycle or a 4-week cycle, and end-to-end releases you should do. So if you want to pass your code from one environment to another environment or to a production environment in 3-2 weeks of cycle, then definitely you would need some automation processes which will take your code from SCM or source code management and take it to the production. So to shorter the SDLC lifecycle, we have got DevOps improvement came in, which is nothing but it supports Agile. So what is the definition of DevOps? DevOps is a culture change which is applied by set of practices and enabled by automation tools. So to support DevOps, we have automation tools, but DevOps is not an automation tools. DevOps is not a technology. So like when I take my classes, many people come and they ask, we are from middleware background, we are from mainframes background, we are from Java background, we are from .NET background, we are from TIPCO background, we are from SAP background. So can DevOps be implemented in our areas? So my answer is yes, DevOps can be implemented in any area because DevOps is an improvement. But you should see, and your architects has to decide how smartly you can use DevOps tools to faster your SDLC lifecycle. So DevOps can be implemented in entire industry, in all the domains, all the technologies. Just you have to choose the tools and you have to smartly use these tools to cater your multiple problems. So DevOps is the culture again, and this is this goes with Agile. So DevOps and Agile, it goes hand in hand. And DevOps makes teams work together. So what was happening was in waterfall model, teams were sitting in silos. Operation team was not talking to development team was not talking to testing team. They were just talking with few mails, but there was no as such handshaking process was there. If something was going wrong on DevOps, operation teams were not be knowing. If something goes wrong on operations, DevOps team or development team may not be knowing. But with the help of DevOps, we are actually making a great handshake between both the teams or multiple teams. So now teams are not sitting in silos. They are actually working together with the help of DevOps. So when we implement the tools, we take care of like development tools or development issues will be noticed by ops team, and ops team's issues and tools will be taken care by development teams. So this is like an overview of high level DevOps. What is DevOps? So DevOps is a culture which is implemented by tools which will support your agile processes or which will faster your SDLC lifecycle. So what is the benefit of DevOps? So as I told, biggest benefit is it's reducing your SDLC lifecycle. So instead of 3 months releases or instead of a 6 months releases, you are doing your releases incrementally. So the first benefit is incremental releases. Every day, whenever you do a build, you are giving a confidence to your business or your management that each build is deployable and reliable. So how we can do is we have few tools are available to check their code qualities and code qualities plus whatever industry standards which are given to write a code. We are doing a kind of audit thing over there, which will give a confidence to business that when code goes to your production or in higher environments, it will not break, it will not give you any surprises. You will have less number of defects are there. Though we are doing multiple releases or incremental releases after 3 weeks. So until and unless you will give this confidence to your business will not agree for a shorter releases. They will say first you stable your releases, come back after 3 to 6 months, then only we'll allow you to go to production. But DevOps says we are giving you confidence that your code is up to the mark, we are following the standards which are given in industries, and then only we'll take code into the production. So we know incremental releases, it has to faster the SDLC lifecycle. We are giving a confidence to business, each release is reliable, deployable. We are ensuring great quality of code. So by having all these 3 principles, we are actually doing faster time to market. We are getting a feedback in a shorter span of time. So if I take example of guys, e-commerce industry, Flipkart or maybe Myntra or Amazon, or in I go to US market, Walmart is there, Target is there. If I'll go to UK market, Asda is there, Sainsbury is there, Tesco is there. So they release the features every after alternate days. They don't release the features after 6 months or 3 months, because if they'll not release features after a day or 2 days or after 3 days, then they'll be losing the market. So they releases the features very frequently. To release the features very frequently, they should have a great level of DevOps maturity available so that they can release the features fastly, as I told, with the great quality of code and with the incremental releases. So DevOps gives us confidence to faster time to market, shorter feedback loops. Like every after 1 day or alternate days or alternate weeks, if you're releasing the features, you are actually getting faster feedbacks. Improve customer satisfaction. If you are addressing their issues or if you are studying market and delivering the feature based on that, so actually you are improving your customer satisfaction. And as I told, it can be applied to any flavor of technology, any domain, and that is the reason DevOps demand is very high in market nowadays. It is anticipated like by 2019 or 20, most of the companies, like at least 3/4 of the companies will be acquiring DevOps, and they will have a great requirement of DevOps implementation. So people who are now looking for DevOps, I would say it's a great opportunity for everyone to land into the DevOps world. Next at least 5 to 6 years, it will go in very good pace, and you'll get great job opportunities and learning opportunities in the DevOps world. Now come to market analysis. So this is a Gartner report is there. So Gartner report says 25% of the companies under G2000 are already by end of 2016 are landed into the DevOps world. Like this is 2017 going on. So till last year, 25% companies have already moved into the DevOps world, but still by 2019, and you will see anticipation is there. This graph will touch to 70% or 65%. So still 35 to 45% market is anticipated to come in DevOps implementation within next 3 years. So a great or huge manpower will be required to implement DevOps in the DevOps world. And if you take the biggest market of software, the US market, you will see salaries people are getting who are from DevOps are comparatively very high as compared to other domains like TIBCO, SAP, which were very demanding since they started. and maybe the ERP's implementation. So DevOps people, they are in high demand and they're getting huge salaries, and people who are, just landing into the DevOps world, they're getting great opportunities over there. So now next is our learning curve. How we'll be in this course training or course curriculum, what we'll be covering and how we'll be covering. So these points we'll discuss here as a part of DevOps training program. So few people were talking about in the expectation, like they would like to understand about continuous integration, they would like to understand about continuous integration, delivery, deployment, monitoring, operations. So this is a DevOps architecture is there, guys, wherein I've covered most of the important tools which are available in market. So in this architecture, you will see in continuous integration space, we have Git, SVN, and TFS is there. So these tools falls under CI tools in conjunction with Jenkins, Bamboo, and TeamCity. And for the build teams, we have multiple tools are available: Apache, Maven, and Gradle tools are available in the build script world. So these three tabs, I would say, sorry, these three boxes, these belongs to continuous integration, as well as the central repository, Nexus or JFrog. These belongs to continuous integration, these four boxes. So how it works is like when the developer, they'll check in the code in the Git, then continuous integration process will trigger, your Jenkins will trigger. It will take your code base onto your build scripts will build your code, and they will place your code onto your central repository. So if I'll take a pen, the process it starts from here. It comes to Git, developer will check in the code. Once they check in the code, then continuous integration pipeline will be invoked. And then your build scripts will be started. And then your code will go to your central repository. So this entire part belongs to continuous integration process. So this is your continuous integration process, which gives a confidence to your business that each and every piece of code which developers are writing, they are going with great number of integrations, and great number of build scripts are written, and few more things are there. Like inside this, we can introduce audit process as well, like SonarQube, or maybe JUnit test cases we can introduce here for code quality. So for your code to start from your SCM to reach to the central repository, your code has to go with multiple integrations, multiple audit processes, great level of build implementations, then your code is going to your central repository. So this is continuous integration. Now guys, next part is continuous delivery or deployment. So delivery or deployment, what it says is you take your code to the various environment, passing through some audit checks or check gates are there. But to deploy our code in various environment, we should have different tools available to take care of your deployment part. So we have few tools available like Ansible, SaltStack, we have Chef available, we have Puppet available, multiple tools are available to deploy your code onto the respective environment. But if I have a requirement like I have to do a hardware sizing, I need to create environments on demand. So we have multiple provisioning tools available. For example, Docker is one of the tool, Vagrant is one of the tool, Amazon and Azure clouds you all must be knowing. And I think someone was talking about the expectation section. They would like to understand about the Kubernetes and drone. So Kubernetes and drone, they falls under Docker implementations when you want to deploy Docker into the Docker containers into the multiple environments. So Docker covers that part. So Vagrant is a tool which will help you to provision your environment on premise. Let's say in your on premise environments you have to provision some machines, then Vagrant will be useful. When it goes to cloud, your Amazon and AWS will take care of your provisioning part. So this part, sorry. So this part will cover your continuous delivery or deployment part, taking it from your Nexus to your using Chef, Puppet, Ansible, SaltStack, and deploying in various environment using either provisioning or just deploying by configuring the environment. So that is your CD part is there. So this is your CD part is there. continuous delivery or deployment. Now people usually ask what is the difference between delivery and deployment. So guys, there is a thin line is there between delivery and deployment. So delivery says you can take my code from one environment to another environment and take it till production without any manual interference or without any manual interaction. So we should have a seamless pipeline available in continuous deliveries deployment section. Only the difference between delivery and deployment is if your pipeline is seamless, there is no manual interaction is there, then your pipeline will be called as a continuous deployment pipeline. If there is a manual interaction is there or intervention is there, we are calling it as a continuous delivery. So this part covers continuous delivery or deployment using a configuration management tool, Chef, Puppet, Ansible, SaltStack, or using your provisioning tool, user Docker, Vagrant, or any cloud. Now the third part is your continuous monitoring tools. So Nagios, Ganglias, these tools are there, which are your continuous monitoring tools. We call it as a continuous operations. So in continuous operations, the moment your machine will have its deployment completed, then it will come and it will check whether which monitoring tool is being implemented. So these monitoring tools are there, Nagios and Ganglias. So guys, this is like, end-to-end architecture of DevOps, typically on a high level, wherein continuous integration is there, continuous delivery or deployment is there, continuous operations are there. Now in this landscape, you have to understand what is your need, which tool is the best tool for you, which will cater your problems. So for example, Jenkins, it's like a kind of tool which is, open source tool and which is most widely used in market at the moment, and most of the companies, they are on Jenkins. But we have Bamboos also, TeamCity also, Cruise Control we have, and many small tools are there, but we have to do a study, but most likely Jenkins is being used. And for this training program also we have chosen Jenkins. So I'll come to the course content, just I'm telling like what is the criteria why you have to go for a particular tool. So for example, Git, SVN, TFS we have. Other tools are there like Mercury is there, CVS is there. So you have to choose either of the tools. When it goes to build scripts, we have a Maven and Gradle is there. So you have to choose based on your requirement. You have a central repository is there, Nexus, JFrog is there. So you have to take care of repositories based on your requirement. You have CM tools are there, Ansible, SaltStack, Chef, Puppet. So you have to choose which tools will cater your problem statements, and you have to take care of cost part as well. So again, provisioning tools, you want to provision your environment on cloud or on-premise. Based on that, you have to take a call. Whether you have to go for microservices, then go for Docker. If you have to provision your environment on-premise, go with Vagrant. If you are on cloud, there is one more wrapper is there like Vagrant. Terraform is there. So you can use Terraform with any cloud combination like Amazon or Azure. So monitoring tools, Nagios and Ganglia, these are open source monitoring tools with having great features inbuilt. So you can go with proprietary or licensed tools like Splunk, SCOM is there, App Dynamics are there. So like that, multiple tools are there. So, but in CI, CD or CO space, you have to choose your tools based on your requirements. Now let me clean the drawing. Okay. Now let me go to next slide. Yeah, so how we are using DevOps in projects. So few people were asking what is the roles and responsibility of a DevOps engineers. So in DevOps projects, guys, you have to set up CI, CD or CO pipelines if you're on operation side, continuous operations pipelines. But primarily DevOps engineer role falls under two categories. Aim is to shorter SDLC lifecycle, okay, and how we can address addressing your shorter the SDLC lifecycle is through digital transformation. So digital transformation is like you are coming from your legacy to advanced code base. When you are on advanced code base, that time you have to go for your DevOps implementation. So there are two roles are mainly defined over here. One is the set of people who will implement or transform your DevOps into the digital transformation area. For example, you're going to set up new code base. So a set of people will come from DevOps team. They'll implement your CI/CD pipeline. They'll set the processes. They'll set your all the tools and implementations, and they will leave. And their maintenance team will take care of rest of the activities. They will be responsible to enhancing your automation activities, automation tools. They'll be enhancing your CI/CD pipelines and other activities they'll be doing. So guys, you have to understand which area you have to fall into. You need to fall into the complete automation area, or you have to go in your operations area by maintaining your pipelines. But when you are maintaining your pipelines, it's required that you have to manage your existing pipeline plus the futuristic automation as well. So in both the like areas, challenges are there. If I take example of myself in my organization where I work, I take care of digital transformation. I introduced DevOps in the legacy areas like mainframes. I've introduced in the middleware, I've introduced into the SAP. So yes, I have to see their problem statement, then I have to see based on the DevOps architecture, like in CI space, which tool has to be chosen, in CD space, which has to be chosen, and CO space, which tool has to be chosen. So implement new automation tools to enhance DevOps capabilities. So this is like you can find out your roles within your organization. If someone is from middleware, I will request him to learn configuration management tool like Puppet, Chef, Ansible, or SaltStack, so that he can automate his activities around the CD world. If someone is from mainframes, then he has to understand there are few plugins are there in Jenkins which will talk to COBOL and Pascal, which will take code from mainframes premises or mainframes peripheral to the outside world. So a few plugins are there. I got chance to implement in one of my engagement, like CI implementation for mainframes. So like that, like TIPCO world, I had implemented few of the DevOps implementation. So first I saw what is a problem statement, then I implemented DevOps over there using few of the CI tools. But people who are on full-fledged Java background or .NET background, they can use the entire suite of products like CI products, CD products, and the CO products. So guys, you have to see where you have to land based on your understanding of your technology and based on the tool set available in CI, CD, and CO space. So in this course, like what we are going to cover is, I'll take one by one. So if I'll go to training details, DevOps course content. So if you'll go to Solvexis website, so we have mentioned here, you can take the URL from Saurabh. He'll provide you the URL of our course content. So we will be covering most likely what is the DevOps introduction part, like what is DevOps, history of DevOps, what is the difference between Dev and Ops, how teams are collaborating itself, how it is shortening your SDLC lifecycle, what are the different tools available in DevOps. And on the SCM side, software configuration management side, we'll be picking up the Git, which is the most widely used at the moment in market. It's a distributed version control system. So we'll be covering many more aspects of Git. For example, Git architecture, concepts, Git important commands, Git important features, tagging, untagging the branches, branching and merging strategies. If you want to troubleshoot on Git, we will be covering all this part in Git. Maven side, build tool side, will be covering Maven. So in Maven, we'll be discussing about Maven lifecycle, default lifecycle, site lifecycle, clean lifecycle, why Maven has become a biggest selling point that because of its dependency management, what are the different repositories are there in Maven, okay, and what are the profiles are there. So many more things we'll be covering in Maven. And for continuous integration orchestration, we'll be covering Jenkins. So in Jenkins, we'll be covering the architecture part, how you'll set up the Jenkins, how you'll create jobs, how you'll use multiple plugins, master slave architecture of Jenkins, introduction to builds, integration with multiple tools like Maven or Git, or maybe configuration management tools, administration or authentication of your access part in the Jenkins, and email notification sending. So all these things which are important in Jenkins we'll be covering. And on CD part, we'll be covering two tools, Docker for virtualization, operating system level virtualization. So we will be covering most of the important part of Docker till intermediate level. For example, what are the differences between Docker and virtualization, setup of Docker, Docker machines, Docker engines, Docker images, Docker containers, volumes, Docker files, and small other things. For example, networking is there, one of the important area of Docker. So we'll be covering that part also. So in Docker only, Kubernetes also falls and drone also falls little bit. I mean, in the advanced topics, but for that you should have a clear background of Docker. So when you go for advanced understanding of Docker, that time you should know Kubernetes or drone. And in the configuration management part, we'll be covering Chef. In that course content, we'll be talking about introduction to Chef, architecture of Chef, important features of Chef like nodes, OHI, resource, recipes, cookbook. Different Chef types are there: Chef apply, Chef solo, run list, architecture of Chef, bootstrapping, attributes, roles, environments, databases. So all the important areas of Chef will be covering. And in the CO side, continuous operation side, we'll be covering Nagios. So we'll discuss here about Nagios architecture, how you'll add a new node which has to be monitored, how you set up the Nagios server, and how you can monitor the new services into the Nagios, like plugins, objects, scheduling. This part we'll be discussing. So this is the course content of this training program, DevOps Foundation. And if I'll go to my slides again, to do this training program, we'll set up your all softwares as a part of giving a VM virtual machines. So we'll provide you some ready-made virtual machines wherein all the software setup is there. But if you would like to do setup by your own, for example, you have to set up Jenkins by your own, you have to set up Maven by your own, you have to set up Chef by your own, or Docker by your own, or Nagios by your own, then we'll provide you the detailed documentation as well. But still you want to discuss some of the installation steps, so sometime once in a week we can discuss as well. But anytime you can stop by me, I'll explain you all the installation of each and every softwares. And the next part is assignments for practice. So guys, we will give you every day or alternate day few assignments like after the class, so that you can practice on the VMs and you will brush up your knowledge. If you have any problem, you can come to me, I'll solve your problems and I'll give you solutions as well as a part of documentation. Next part is test. So guys, I'll take your surprise test randomly after 3 weeks class or 4 weeks class, just to check whether you are doing the practice on the daily basis, you are aware of like what we are learning over there. So just to make you aware and just to get your momentum back into the training program, so we'll schedule some of the surprise tests. At end of the course, guys, I'll give you some project case studies. I'll let you know like how these 6 tools can be implemented as a case study, and if you want to implement that project case study, you want to convert it into the live, so you can convert it with the knowledge given in the training program. And during the conversion of your project from a case study to a live implementation, if you have any issues or any challenges are there, then I'll help you over there. And at the end of the training program, if you will cover this project as a live project, then we'll provide you a training certificate. So Solvexis certificate is very important certificate. You can put this verifiable certificate in your LinkedIn profile, your resume, anywhere. Solvexis is the brand name nowadays in the training world. So this training program certificate will definitely help you to land in DevOps world. For example, in your company, you want to change your job profile. For example, you are a support person, you are from admin person, you want to go in end-to-end DevOps, then this certificate will definitely help you. In my organization, many people have come and they told we are from Solvexis and we have took the training from Solvexis. So I considered them like, okay, they know the DevOps, so definitely they would have learned whatever is required in DevOps world to know. And as well as at the later point of time, if you want to discuss something about your industry problems or many other things, you can come back to the Solvexis. So Saurabh, he will provide extensive support for such kind of activities as well. We call it as a training support. So any point of time for a training support you want to come back, so definitely we'll address that part as well. So I'll show you like few VMs I prepared. So this DevOps master default VM is there, which I prepared. So this kind of VMs will be providing you, and you have to import that VMs in your hypervisor. So VirtualBox is a hypervisor, and you can just import it. You start that VMs, and you can start working directly. For example, I have to create Jenkins pipeline. I just use my Jenkins pipeline. I just started Jenkins. I knew all the tools: Jenkins, Puppet, sorry, Jenkins Chef, Maven, Java, Docker is installed on this particular VM. So I need not to struggle to start or to install everything in a VM first. Then I have to do exercise. I can directly jump onto the VMs and start the exercise part. And then if I'll come to frequently asked question answers, so which people usually ask, so before you will come to me and ask, so I'll answer your questions, answers. So duration of training program, so guys, it's based on, so it's based on how we'll progress, how we'll take the contents in the training program, but typically it's around 25 to 30 hours course curriculum, but it depends. If you have more questions, we have more course content to cover with mentioned in the website, our course content, so it will take time, so we'll give more time. What about the study materials? So study materials will provide you study material on our LMS system. So Solvexis, they'll provide you. Do we get recording of each class? Yes, we will have recording of each class available in LMS system of Solvexis. So you can go and listen my recordings, which is the training recording, and I think it's a lifetime free access for everyone. What happens if I miss any class? If you miss any class, then recordings are available. You go through the recordings. If you have any questions, next day I'll happily answer your questions. What about the support after training? So training support is available always. Whenever you want to come back, you can come back and talk to Solvexis people. They can provide you the support. So guys, this is all about, like I started from my introduction, I got your background, what is the course content of this training program, and what are the different aspects of CI, CO, and CD or CO is there, and what would be the form of training we'll be delivering, what are the contents different we'll be giving you, and all these things we have covered. So if you have any other questions, please you can, we can discuss with that. So Saurabh, you want to add something?
Vineet?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Amit is back.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say, Vineet. Let's take the participants' question first of all, and I'll come back after that. Please continue, Amit.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Yes,
yeah, Amit. Yeah, Amit.
My organization is using. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. My organization is using Gradle for builds. So how would I go about that? Because Gradle is not covered in the course content.
So Gradle is not covered in the course content. So we have a standard, build languages which we are using. Maven is standard build language, but there is not much difference between Gradle and Maven. Little bit dependency management systems are different. Gradle is more on, I think your organization more on the mobile side, right? Mobile application.
Mobile as well as web application.
Yeah, web application maybe typically in TIPCO side, or so few advantages are there, like why which we can use Gradle. But if you want to know more about Gradle, if you have understanding on Maven, you can cover Gradle as well. Okay, there is not much difference are there. Few syntaxes differences are there, and few repository differences, few dependency management systems are there, which makes Gradle unique from Maven. But I would say not much differences are there. So if you know Maven, you can cover Gradle as well. So does it answer your question, Amit?
Sorry, Vineet, last part I couldn't hear because I was disconnected. So you're saying it's more or less the same?
Yeah, few differences are there, but not great extent. So if you know Maven, you can cover Gradle as well.
Okay. And secondly, for CD, we are preferring our preferred tool is Chef. So do we need to know Ruby programming language as a prerequisite before learning Chef?
Not essentially, but if you know, it would be great. The reason is Chef has its own modules which are given, or packages which are given. So you need to know Chef DSL, domain specific language. So, you know, let's say 4 commands we have clubbed and we are giving in a single command of DSL, which is Chef language. Like when you write recipes and cookbooks, so you know syntax of your Chef DSL. You need not to know syntax of Ruby. Let's say you want to do some event, you want to copy your file from one place to another place. Let's say Ruby does this job in 3 steps. So Chef has its predefined resources are there which will take care of this part. So you should know Ruby thing, you should know only Chef DSL. Like when you learn the Chef, how Chef code is written, if you know that part, it would be enough. When you are going for a great extent of troubleshooting, that time it's very rare chances that you have to get your hands dirty in Ruby.
Okay. Thank you, Vineet.
Yeah. So any other question, Amit?
For now, thank you, Vineet.
Okay, thanks. So I think Bunny had some questions. So Bunny, can you please ask your questions if you have any?
Hi, Vinita. So I just want to know this DevOps culture can be used in database field.
So I would say as of now DevOps is matured on Java and .NET, but now it's picking up. Now I've seen many implementation I was not the part of in my organization wherein people are introducing DevOps in database as well. For example, Docker, they are coming in database at large extent. So Docker images have come for SQL databases or MySQL databases. So yeah, DevOps is entering into the database world as well. The reason is when you go for MySQL or NoSQL databases, you will not consume your memory or a hardware just for database, because earlier world what you should dedicate one machine for your Oracle only or dedicated machine for MySQL only. But using Docker containers images, we are trying to reduce your hardware space or maybe your memory space, you know, which was occupied by your databases, as well as how we can integrate databases to your application side also. Few plugins are available in Docker world only. So yes, answer to your questions, DevOps is entering now into the DevOps database world as well.
Okay, but it's as of now it's not completely entered, right? It's completely focusing on Java and .NET.
So as I told, DevOps is just 2-3 years old. Okay, so gradually it's entering in our entire industry in all the domains and all the technologies. So I would say few technologies this is in mature form. Few technologies it's in like learning phase, or for them it's a learning phase or implementation phase. So if someone is from database background, I would say please learn DevOps, because if you learn DevOps at this moment, it will definitely give you great level of knowledge after some time.
Sure, thank you.
Any other question, Bunny?
No, that's it for now. Thank you.
Okay. So, Nitin, any question from your side?
Yeah, it's pretty much you have covered everything, just because we are already practicing most of the things. So yeah, as one guy said, Gradle is one of the preferred tool. And I wanted to know more about the scripting part of it. So does it need any shell scripting or Python which you have come across in your career? So how frequently we use any custom made, scripts which we use in any of this part?
So I would say if you know all the tools effectively, for example, all the configuration management tools effectively, then scripting knowledge is not required. But sometimes there is a scenarios wherein scripting is required for integration. For example, when you go for a native library support, for example, TIBCO and SAP, wherein some tool doesn't work. For example, Puppet, just now they have launched their versions on supporting for the SAP modules. Okay, but earlier they didn't have. So when you go for their implementation like transformation, and you have Jenkins or some small tools are there. So to integrate these tools, sometimes scripting knowledge is required. But I would say it's not essential to have scripting knowledge. Over a period of time, you will learn all these technologies if you know the basic foundation tools which are a part of this course curriculum. Maybe it's a Chef, Puppet, Ansible, any tool, or maybe any cloud. So if you cover these topics, then you are good in DevOps world to start with. But yes, over a period of time when you face a lot of challenges, then you can brush up your scripting languages. If I'll take my example, when I landed into the DevOps world, Python was not a great tool to be known into the market. That time people were more learning about shell script or Perl script, but nowadays Python is picking like anything. So it is required for me to learn Python, but if I am not learning Python, then tools will suffice my work.
Okay. So okay. And one last question is, so which is the cloud platform which we are working on here, like any AWS or any OpenStack, or or just it's for time being for our course purpose is a virtual machine itself is enough?
So for our course content, this is the training program, so we are not going with any cloud. So what I'll do is I'll give you ready-made VMs. You can import that VMs in your Oracle VirtualBox, which is a hypervisor. So
Okay.
we'll do practice. It's our lab over there. But yes, if you want to do the same exercise on cloud, you can take any subscription of AWS or Azure. You can spin up a machine and you can do your exercise over there also.
So but if I take AWS for 1 day subscription, and I can go for all these build tools, and I can I can practice over on that subscription, right, Vinit?
So if I'm not wrong, they are giving a bare metal minimum with 512 MB of RAM with 2 GB of not 2 GB, 20 GB of hard disk in free of cost for 1 year. So you can practice all these tools over there if you want to go
Oh,
for
bare
cloud.
metal is providing it?
So they are providing, I think, 512 MB of RAM and 20 GB of
Oh,
hard disk for 1 year subscription free.
oh,
Okay.
a bare metal,
Okay.
bare metal, right?
Bare
Okay,
metal they are
okay,
providing.
yeah, got it.
So if
That's
you
great.
want to, if you want to use all these tools over there, you can practice. I mean, for these tools to use, we don't need 4 GB or 6 GB of RAM immediately. Okay. You can practice there with the minimum configuration they are providing.
Okay. But process remains the same, right? What we run on virtual machines over on hypervisor, and what we do it on any of the cloud platform will remain same, right?
Yeah, essentially it should be
Okay.
same. But you can tell
Okay.
it if there is a change, you can see what is the difference. But it should be same.
Okay. Sure, Unit. Thanks a lot. Yep.
Yeah. So thanks, Nitin. Over to, I think Anusha has, Amit we have covered, and Bunny we have talked about. Anusha, over to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Anusha.
Hello.
Yeah, Anusha, I'm able to
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah, but I did not get the difference. Springs and Hibernate.
Okay, so
You
I'll
said
tell
that
you.
in all platforms we are going to use this, right?
Yeah,
DevOps.
right.
We are going to implement. And then one question. This Maven is also one type of tool.
Maven is a
Right?
build script. Maven is a build script. So when you build your artifact in your Spring framework, okay,
Okay.
so that time you must be using a build tool which will create your final artifact. So may I know what is the final artifact of your product? It's a jar file, ER file, or WAR file?
It's a ER file.
Yeah, ER file, how you are building a ER file could be through Ant, or could be through Maven, or could be through Gradle. Okay, so Maven
Through
is a
Maven.
build script for through Maven. So Maven is a build script for this course curriculum. So like if you would like to understand Maven, then this course will help you.
Okay, fine. And if it is a jar file?
If it's a jar file, then Maven, we have some phases are there. You can give it in the phase you want jar file, ER file, or WAR file. Everything can be created by Maven script.
Okay, fine.
Okay, and one more thing you asked, what is the you asked one more thing, like difference between Spring, Hibernate, and DevOps. Okay, so as I told, DevOps is not a technology, it's a culture, right? So in your Spring also, in Hibernate also, for continuous integration, you can use Jenkins. For your build scripts, you are telling already you're on Maven, but maybe with this class, you can improve your build scripts. And for your deployment, you can use Chef, which is the tool we are going to use over here. And if you want to go for container-based implementation, container-based deployment, you can go for Docker. And if you want to go for monitoring part, you choose Nagios. So as such, there is no dependency like you're on Spring, you're on Struts, you're on ATG, you're on LifeRay. Any framework you pick it up, you can use these tools over there.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Anusha, any other question?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Anusha. I'll come to Supraj now. So Anusha, please go on mute. Yeah, Supraj, over to you.
Just a sec.
Yeah, Supraj, you can ask your
Hi, Nitin.
questions. Yeah.
Hi, Vinit. Yeah, currently we are using Ant as a build tool. So I want to know the main difference between the Maven and this Ant.
So Maven and Ant is when you write anything on your Ant, then you have to set your dependencies by your own. For example, for X project, I need 10 dependencies, 10 dependent jar files are there. So you have to explicitly set your targets. You know, you want to go for compile, you want to go for deployment, you want to go for packaging, you want to go for testing. So you have to separately set your targets over there in your build.xml file. And plus you have to set explicitly your dependencies. For each and every developer, they have to set the dependencies on your local machine. But in case of Maven, and that was the biggest selling point of Maven was, you can set your dependencies in a remote repository, and then you can map these dependencies in your pom.xml file. So you need not to explicitly set your dependencies within your pom.xml, or if I'll take in the Ant world, build.xml. So dependencies management was the biggest hit for Maven, as well as you need not to explicitly mention about you want to compile a code, you want to package your code, you want to test your code, or you want to deploy it somewhere. In Maven, we have default build lifecycle is there, which will take care of all these tasks. You have to just mention your lifecycle phase. Automatically, it will take care of your packaging, compiling, testing, everything. So these are the two major differences are there.
Okay, and one small thing, for Ant we are mentioning as a build.xml, and for Maven we are mentioning as a pom.xml, right? These are a standard naming convention, or can we change according as per our project?
So with my understanding, these are the standard naming conventions which are given by product itself. You can't change the naming conventions.
So with this name only, the particular thing will be recognized and run the program, correct?
Yeah, 99%. But if you have a huge demand to change your naming conventions, then you have to do some tweaking in the jar files level, which is quite typical, I would say. And it's very rare in the industry that people have changed the naming conventions of their native XML files, which is POM or build.
Okay, okay. And my second doubt is currently we are using a udeploy tool for version management. So what is the replacement thing for that one in DevOps actually?
So if I'm not wrong, udeploy is from IBM, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So that some name is there. I'm forgetting that name. udeploy tool is Urban Code Deploy, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so Urban Code Deploy, I would say it's very costly, and Jenkins can easily replace. So I think Urban Code Deploy have multiple features. They have their own continuous integration is there, continuous deployment is also there. But with my understanding, Urban Code Deploy doesn't do straightforward deployment in multiple nodes. Okay, you have to customize things a lot, as well as when it goes to integration part, you have to do some customization to integrate with Git or TFS or other tools. But the biggest disadvantage of ucode deploy, Urban Code Deploy is it's highly licensed tools. To replace that, you can pick Jenkins for the orchestration layer. For the deployment, you can use Chef. So both will suffice your work with that 1/10 cost of what IBM is charging. Because in my one of the engagement, we've used Urban Code Deploy. The only reason client was asking for to replace Urban Code Deploy was because of its high proprietary license version.
Okay. Currently, actually, we are using like SVN linked with udeploy, and for compiling and deploying this one, Jenkins we are using for the building.
So what you can do is Urban Code Deploy will go and talk to your SVN. Instead, you can use Jenkins to talk to your SVN. Okay, their plugins are there which will go and talk to your SVN. And for compilation, if you Urban Code Deploy as its own script, I'm not sure because extensively I never got chance to work. For deployment part I worked, but you can use Maven for your build, and then for deployment you can use Chef. So Jenkins already
Okay.
you are using, you have to just replace your Urban Code Deploy with Maven and your Chef.
Okay. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So Manoj, do you have any questions for me? Which maybe I haven't covered over there, because when I was asking about the expectation, you are not available that time.
Hi Vinit, mostly everyone covered the questions, so I'm fine with it.
Okay. Thank you, Manoj. Yeah. So Venkat, do you have any question? Venkat, over to you. Do you have any question for me?
Sorry, Vinit. Sorry for disturbing. Is there any possibility to share this PPT to whoever attending?
I think Saurabh will take this call. Okay, so maybe Saurabh can put in LMS and then you can access over there. Right, Saurabh?
Vineet, I'll come back to that. You'll finish. I will answer those questions when I take it. So Praj, just give me a minute.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay, fine.
So I think I've covered most of the question answers from the audiences. I didn't get anything from Venkat. Venkat, do you have any question for me to answer? Okay. I think there is one more participant is there. I don't see his clear name. His name is Double X. So Double X, if you want to ask anything, you can ask your questions. Okay. So I think Saurabh, I've covered most of the question and answers which have been asked so far.
Okay.
So over to you, Saurabh.
All right. Thanks a lot transferring this to me, Vineet. Vineet, can you just do the full mode on this FAQ slide once again? I would just like to go through once. Yeah, just do it on a
Sure.
full mode. Yeah. Guys, thanks a lot for your time. I hope you really enjoyed this session and you might find it useful. I just want to take you back through this. As I mentioned before starting this session, we design these courses, contents from our project experience, and we try to put it as much as we can. So first of all, in terms of the duration, as Vineet mentioned, yes, approximately we could see in our past batches and our past experience, uh, the duration will be most probably like between 24 to 30 hours, but it will be more than that as well. There are batches which Vineet's conducted which will go up to 40 hours as well. The reason being is the audience, you as a participants. The more and more you are interacting with the trainer, the more and more questions you are asking, you're completing your hands-on exercise on a daily basis, depends on that, the duration. So apart from that, this is just the efforts which we are putting to complete the course content, but the duration of the training also includes how much time you as an individual putting after the training classes. So consider that as a duration of the training. Study material, yes, we are providing the study material. Unfortunately, Vineet is not aware, like our LMS is a little bit down these days. It is under construction, so we are making some lot of changes into that. So we are sharing the soft material, soft copy of all the study materials which we have to all the participants. Even the recording of this today demo session also, I'm going to upload it and I'm going to share the link with you. So Praj, I think that's what your question all about. So yeah, you will get the recording of this demo session in which you will find the entire content that you can access it. Recordings for each and every class. Yes, after each and every class, you will get the recording of that class, which you can access. We will upload it over towards on cloud, and you can access those recordings. It is available for you. Even when our LMS is not is not working, still you will get the recording. So we have the other way around to share the recordings with you. You can access that thing. I think last 2 points Vineet already mentioned. What happened if anybody miss your class? You can simply go through the recording. You can ask Vineet your questions, whatever you find out. If you want to discuss anything from that previous class which you missed, feel free to do that. Okay. So this is how we conduct our training classes. Our motive is not to complete the training as soon as possible as it gets started and make it like the super fast train. No, it is not like that. It would be we'll be in touch. We still, our participants from the previous projects are in touch with Vineet and to us and all, and that is how we conduct it. All right. I think Vineet, do you have that assignment PDF? I think you haven't discussed that one.
Yeah.
Is it available for you?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
I'll
just
show you.
want to give you a look and feel of what type of assignments, documents we share with our participants. So these are the this is the assignment document which you will receive on a daily basis or as per the topics proceed whenever we need fields, which will include the problem statements on which you need to do the hands-on. You need to prepare for your test as well from these assignments. You can discuss these problem statements in the classes with Vineet and all. So this is how what we design. If you have any other suggestion for me to improve our training services, I would like to hear from you guys. So anybody, if there is any question for me, please let me know.
Saurav,
Yeah,
this is
Nitya.
Anusha.
Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, actually, the first 10 minutes I did not listen. That means I did not connect to this.
Mhm.
The starting points I did not get.
Okay, so that's really,
Introduction.
yeah. So introduction, it would be more like our introduction. So that is my part again, I think. So what we included, Anusha, is like our group, how we form our group, the Solvexis. We are into IT industry from last more than 14-15 years. And we form our own technical group, own technical team with best of our technical professionals from different technologies background like AWS, DEVOPS, big data and all. And that's how we conducted these trainings, right? I will share the recordings of this entire class with you, Anusha, so you can also go through from that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, fine.
sure. Any other question, guys, for me? Amit, do you have anything for me you would like to add in this training session? No? Saras, Bunny, you there? Okay, Amit.
Saurabh,
Yeah, Amit, please.
is it possible to additionally add Gradle in the course content?
The course content which we design as of now is to keeping everybody's in mind. That is it is for those as well who are not from the technical background. It is for those as well who are completely new to DevOps industry or having 1 or 2 years of experience to the experienced guys as well. In terms of, if you want to discuss more about the Gradle, maybe you could discuss with Vineet, and he could maybe share his experience on that, his views on that, right? Vineet, do you want to comment on this about the Gradle?
Yeah, so as I told, sort of like, there is not much difference between Gradle and Maven.
Mhm.
So having understanding of Maven, then it will be easy to pick, the Gradle part as well.
Mhm.
So I'll provide you the links, a little bit material on that. But if you want to discuss something on Gradle as well, we'll pick that area as well. So yeah, if you will, you want to know something on Gradle, once your concepts will be clear on Maven, you can understand Gradle very well.
Thanks, Vinit.
As per this course, we need to learn anything as prerequisite to perform all these assignments and anything.
So
Yeah, so maybe I'll add it onto this. See, first of all, from the day one, as I told you, Bunny, we keep everybody's in mind and design our structure of the classes with design as per that. So from the day one, as Vineet sir show you the course content, we starting from the DevOps introduction, which is itself is a basic. Okay.
Okay.
So in
Okay.
terms
Sure.
of the
Thanks.
prerequisite, I think Vineet sir can better answer you.
So yeah, so Saurabh, I think you answered my question. So we are starting from the basics. So I don't think we would need any prerequisite to start this course. And this course we have prepared by keeping in mind that we may have people who are just trying to land into the DevOps world. They may not have any background, earlier background. So answer to Bunny's question is, to do the assignments, you have to regularly attend the classes. I think that will be enough to start or to work on the assignments.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Any other question or suggestion for us, guys? Nitin, Manoj? Yeah, Nitin.
Yeah, I am good.
Yeah.
No issues.
Any question for me, Nitin or Vineet, or any other suggestion for us to improve? Okay. Lokesh, you there? Okay. So Praj, any? Yeah, Lokesh. Hello. Hello, Lokesh. Can you hear me? Okay. So if you guys don't have any other question for us, what we can do is we will stop it
Sir,
here.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is
Supraj.
hello.
Yeah.
May I know the course fees
I will
regarding
drop
this?
you your details, the training details, registration details for that. Okay, there is one important point which I miss.
Okay.
We are starting our new batch on DevOps from 5th of June, which is next week, Monday. And the timings will be 7 a.m. IST to 9 a.m. IST. Okay, so please check it. I will drop you an email. All those who registered this demo session and attended this demo session, I will drop all the details on your email ID. Please have a look. And if you are comfortable with this demo session and would you like to proceed for that, I request you to please do the registration before 5th of June, and from there we'll take it. Yeah, Nitin, you want to say something?
And it's on weekends or
It's a weekday.
like it's
It's a weekday. It's a
okay.
Monday to Friday training. It's a Monday to Friday
Okay.
batch. And this is the weekend batch and as of now which we are going to start.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
No, Lokesh, we don't have any other IST timings as of now. This is the only time slot which we have. As I told you, we are also working professional. So most of the time we would like to take only one batch at a time. Regarding the weekend batch, I'll be in touch with you, Lokesh. As of now, we are going to plan for this weekday batch. Maybe after this week or maybe after a couple of weeks, we'll be starting a weekend batch. Okay. Okay. So I think guys, if you don't have any other question for